All right, as usual, we're recording another one so we don't lose progress. I haven't done much research on this one, so if you're seeing this, it's because we accomplished what we want and built what we want, and I didn't fail spectacularly. We're going to do a few things with our applications, but the main thing we're going to do is add a scroll bar. So I think I'll create an app for like a log viewer or something that's just reading a random file. We can abstract and clean it up later, but just want something that we will need to scroll. So I'm thinking of just like a text, no, not text input, but text display for the app, and then a scroll bar that you could, a typical scroll bar you can drag up and down. So yeah, I've never done it before. That's not true. I kind of did it before with AI, but I didn't really like the way that it had done it. This is a couple of months ago, when I first started kind of having this idea. But so yeah, we're gonna do it ourselves. I don't remember much about what we did except for that there was some state. So let's just dive in. I did clean up a couple things. I don't know if I mentioned in the last video, I was thinking about switching to Linux. I would still like to, but it's kind of a pain with my setup. One, because of the microphone. I'd ordered one, it got delayed, so I just canceled it because I can keep doing it on here without having to spend money to make sure we'll keep going anyway. But it's also switching keyboard, mouse, and all that. I don't have like the ideal KVM setup, so it's kind of a hassle. So let's just keep going with what we have that works for now. Uh, the point of me saying that was there was a couple commits on Linux, like about the leak sanitizer works better on Linux, or it's actually disabled on Mac. And there's too many noisy things, and we don't really need it because we track our leaks in our own memory allocator. But I did add this suppression list for things that do leak in Linux. Not on Mac, but this is on Linux. Yeah, these all leak. And they're libraries. We just want to hide stuff that's not our application leaking. All right, so let's look at what we got. Here's our dummy app. We're probably going to rename this to Oscillate or something, and then a log viewer app or file viewer or something. So let's just jump in. So we've got these experimental apps. Let's just copy dummy to log viewer, maybe. Let's just remove dummy from everything in place of log viewer. This EXP will, when it becomes a real app, I'm thinking about moving it to like under app, and then it will have a different prefix for all the real apps, and then that way you know where stuff's coming from. I'm pretty open and flexible on this. I don't feel that strongly. So you're going to get a window. All we have is this create, and I think it's because our window struct. Wait, why isn't that jumping to its definition? The window struct has these, so we don't need to make public functions. We might in the future. Window draw, and then you just pass in the window so you can kind of hide. Like imagine that, and handle event or something. Then you pass in that and that. But for now, let's just leave it. All right. I'm just going to do the same find replace on dummy. We don't need a timer or color. I think something's up with my setup right now. Oh, did that just do what I didn't want it to do? Why is it changing that? So we don't need a timer. Let's just make this real simple. You really don't even need to do anything in draw. This is a good example of actually, okay, let's just run this. This is our second app, so we're gonna just kind of make sure everything's functioning as we expect. This is gonna be named probably needs an underscore. I think that is because Bear doesn't know about that yet, or compile commands doesn't know. More importantly, because of this. So this is annoying. Let's do it again. Make clean, make. We've got duplicate symbols. Why do you need that? Are they not static? Why can't we have those? I thought we could have. Oh, static. There we go. They were getting exported. Okay. All is still good in the world. Still need return type. All right. loggy viewer. This should stay the same color for now. And background color, let's just go ahead and make that black so it's always black and stands out because it's just going to print text. Okay, so watch this. This is what we want to see. So I don't like that those are directly on top of each other, X, Y. Um, we need to go over 500 maybe. Yeah, that's what we want. We don't want loggy viewer. That's annoying. I knew it was going to be 450. Okay, that's fine. All right. Let's just get this. All right. We want to put text in there. So we need to open a file. Do we need like a. I don't know. Do we need like an initialize, or is that what happens in create? Is that the whole point of this create function? Like to open the file. And what's a good file? Can we just open something within our app so then we don't have to go get like var log system? I don't know if I want to. What if I just open up something local? We don't have our own file API currently. Um, it's .io, right? That'll be cool. We can do our own file type soon, and we can do our own string type soon too, I think. Um, I don't ever remember the. Is it like uh, option rewrite something? It's I'm missing the maybe the prefix or something. .io. Yeah, the mode. Wait, what do we do? We do the path and then the mode. That's it. Wait, is it just another string? Oh, open for writing, open for so it's just read. You don't need to execute. I got a swarm. Maybe I'm thinking of Go or something. No, we just need it for read. It's gonna get run in the build directory. What's a file that's the license? No, compile maybe? Is that a long file? Yeah. Let's just see if this works. Okay, so we're going to open that file. I want to test one more thing before we keep going on that path. This is the whole point of showing you earlier. 41, we're not getting that file. Is it not from the build directory? Is it local? Okay, it's from where we're running, not from the binary. Makes sense. Current working directory. All right, so see how this is all black, and let's do one thing. We're going to change it to red just for now because we want to resize and it stays red. But we're drawing that every frame and it's completely unnecessary. If we do this on startup, and then we go unused window because we're not doing anything in the draw. We're not redrawing every frame. I just want you to see the difference because we're going to deal with this. See, it's not touching the memory that is the backing color. So on resize, when you get a resize event, we need to tell this thing to redraw. I was talking about this a long time ago because we don't have to do that here because we're redrawing every frame, but it's wasteful. This changes every frame, so it's not wasteful in this case. It's kind of hard to tell because these colors aren't that different. But yeah, we'll need like the event system to like window resize, and then the app will get it and go, hey, I need to redraw. For now, though, let's just redraw every frame. All right. Let's go back to black. We've opened the file. Do we want to store this? Does this return anything? Just catch more stuff. Should probably do this in the other one as well. Let's do them as we see them for now. All right, so we got a file. Do we want to do it every draw? We want to read, right? The pointer how much we want to read, how many times. Oh no, that's the destination. Do we want to read by bytes? So one, the size of a car and how many bytes? Or just, do we just make it one of the entire size we want to read? I don't know yet. Okay. So let's just read. Where do, I don't think it can be const. And size, the number 24, one of them. That's how many bytes were read. We're always going to want something on start. Maybe not. I mean, we could have an empty file, but we want to blow up now because we're going to pick a different file because we just want to exercise the display stuff right now. Um, what is this called? Is this, you can't make this static, can you? No. I don't, yeah, this will be a local only. Not file size, but the tail, because you just want the tail of it. Right now we're taking the front of it, but we don't want to do that. I'm just thinking we might want another function that's just like read it and it updates the state log file. Let's not overthink right now. We're just gonna read it once it start up. We're eventually gonna need to read it based on its like modified time or access, well, not access time, but modified time, I would think. So fill it and then let's just see if we just draw it. How do we draw surface text? No, wait, where's our text? Draw text surface. Let's just move away a little bit. What's the text? State text. Is this going to draw way over? Whoa, possibly. $65. I do know that we're not. Let's do this different because I'm going to read it. I feel like it's going to optimize this case. So we're going to say what it is. It's the size of a character, hopefully 1 byte. And we're going to read the length of the thing, the length of bytes, but we got to subtract 1 because we need to put a null terminator in there. No, that's going to be state. Oh no, shoot, we can't do that. You need to do how many, because if it's less than, it's how many we actually read. I might be doing this wrong because I was thinking this is the destination, but it's complaining about this, which means it's uninitialized. That's our where we allocate the state. Le- we are writing that. What the hell as bad as that address? This is where it would be nice to be on Linux because the debugger's a lot better. I can do it in Emacs really well. Let's see if we can actually. Mm, it's nicer if I start from here because then I could do paths better. No such file or GDB. I've been doing it on Linux. That's why um, this just would work. LDM? What? Come on, man. I might just do it from the command line. All right. That's. Am I tripping? Interpreter exact. I think we're just in a bad state now. I'm just going to kill the whole window process. Uh, we could probably sort this out faster, but I'm trying to get in a better habit of running GDB or LLDB. We need to copy that. Where's cannot index no tabs? I think that these are the same. No, they are kind of different. I like that you can do V. I don't feel like I don't know why I can't type currently. All right, so can I clear this? No. So let's show the frame. We're in assert right there. Let's show the variables for the stack. And then let's show, can we look at state? Can we print? Why can't I see what I'm typing? There we go, print out, print that out. There's a way to pretty print, at least in GB. Oh, what if I just print state? All right, what if I can't dereference it because it's null? Okay, next. We're going to allocate that. Assert, assert. So now we're on file. Is this just BS data because we haven't filled it right? Yeah, I think I should be watching this. That's different now. All right. So what if states, did I already do, yeah, so state's done. So can I do print dereference state? Mm, all right. That makes sense. That makes sense. Oh, do I need to allocate for that? Duh, wow, okay. Yeah, that's just a literal pointer with nothing backing it. Boom. Okay. Now we're getting it. So let's just stage all this because that we're in a functional state. We probably want to do I'm just going to do 64 because we're going to do 128K kilobyte lines. We can shrink all this down. We'll just do kilobyte lines up to 64 lines. Does this need to be... Mm, is that cool? Do we like that? To propose, I don't know. So while it's not a null, do I need to zero that out? I don't know. That could might be learning some stuff or just getting in a better habit of knowing when something's an issue. Do we need to state check? Our allocation needs to be better too. I don't know how to jump now that we're doing. Do I want? Yeah, I think we do want like a. Yeah, do I need to just allocate the whole thing? We don't want individual allocations, right? Experts are probably dying right now. I actually don't know what I want to do here. Like, do we want to read it all first and then loop over it while we see new lines. And kind of need a string view for that. But since this isn't going to outlive the app, man, I don't know if this is right or not. Tail bytes times. No, tail bytes is right. We're going to read a ton of the file. While we have text, and text does not equal a new line, I'm kind of just going with this. Why doesn't that work? Yeah, that's going to be a. We need to do this per line. Oh. Hold on. F-read doesn't allocate, right? Um, this should be lines. I think that'll make it easier to understand. This is just text. It's a single allocated thing. So we can just point to these things, but then we're not going to have the end of line character. Okay, I'm going to take a 2-second break. Do I have to cough tea? I'm going to like walk in a circle and think. All right, so we could add our string view. Basically, we had this long string with a bunch of new lines in it. We want to split that up into separate like pointers and lengths. But if you use just const char pointer, then we need to insert new lines for every one. But I think to do that, we'd have to reallocate. But you could have a string view that has a pointer and a length because this is going to live. Oh no, this isn't going to live. Maybe we need two allocations. Yeah, let's just try. This we might not even get to scroll bar. We might just do a file reading. I'm so rusty. Or not even rusty, just in C, I don't do a bunch of file manipulations. Again, point of the project, I guess. Just get comfortable with everything. Like in every other language, you can just kind of have it memorized and bust it out, but there's more work here. The thing is if we do have a string allocator, we don't have to allocate again. We can do a static allocation. Why isn't that working? What? I think we still need this. So it's just one big string that's null terminated. And there's a bunch of new lines in between. So what if we did line? What if we just, I don't know if this is going to stick or not, but I'd already planned to add this in the future anyway. So, and we don't need capacity. That's for a string, but for a string view, we need car pointer or data. And can we just do this? I'm running out 2 billion. I think we're trying to be greens and land. Okay. Greens and length everywhere else. Or like the longer names, but all right, so this is a string view. So the lines is going to be, what if I just do this? Tail line. And then it's just allocated. The reason I'm not, because you could just allocate its startup, parse the lines, and not keep this around, but let's keep it around for convenience for now. This is where we will loop through. We're going to need to zero that out. Do we need to be zeroing this stuff better? Do we just need to zero after we allocate? We could, again, I don't know if you've not seen before, we've talked about this, like do we want to use calc here, but we're kind of letting it, with our CD pattern, we're letting it like bubble up issues, but I think we're only really creating them because we're not using calc in the first place. Like we would never hit any of these bugs, so whatever. But now there's no point for these other than for me to ease my thinking, like associate all this code together. I'm going to move this up to a separate function, I think, but speaking of, is out of date. We don't want to do this every frame. I mean, we might want to do something every frame, but we want to. I was thinking about moving this logic that we're going to put here up there, but we don't want to do it every frame. So what we will do, line equals. I mean, you could put state count. It's because it's going to be 0, but we want to be explicit. This is always supposed to start from the beginning, especially here. Line is less than tail lines. And for each one of these, what's the do this? Maybe you should be looping over this pointer instead of the line that. I feel like this is more idiomatic. While you have that, and we're going to do this a little different, actually. My brain works better this way. I'm not even going to do plus plus right now. Let's create a new stir view, and the pointer equals text pointer. Because when we very first start, the first thing is there, and then the length equals. Is this gonna work? Text pointer stir len for text pointer. Is that because we don't have string? I'm gonna need that link for something else too. We probably need to, harden this a little bit, but why isn't that working? Hmm. And then the text pointer, because we want to move forward that many, but I think we might get something wonky. I think this is actually -1 because we don't want the new line. Undeclared identifier log file. What? Did I freaking delete? Okay. I don't know how that happened. Sorry. I think I was going to move it down here because all this stuff should go in its own function. The file reading, processing, opening, blah, blah, blah. All right. So then in draw. Oh, maybe we do want to plus that. We don't want the new line, so we subtract one. We point to the pointer, but then the text pointer moves forward the length, including the new line. Um, that's going to count up to the next new line. That can't be bigger than that because that means that maybe there's bad data in there. In the buffer, we didn't read far enough. We might not need. We might not be able to do this either. You might just need to handle it. Like if it's greater than, then bail or do something. We need to bail early, right? If this is greater than tail bytes per line, right? Just want to break out of this. Just a sec. Phone's ringing. I just had a call, and it also made me realize. I wonder. I feel like my headphones might have disconnected either before the video. I hope it was during that. If not, then the audio is probably better now. All right. So now we're going to iterate over lines. How do we know if the line, like, since we're only doing this at start for now, I think what we should do, we're not rereading this over and over and over. We're just doing it on startup. We will do it more later. I think what we can do, I'm trying to think about this. Oh no, we can just go on line count. That's right. I was going to say we need to zero these out, but we don't. We can do for loop. Line is less than line count. Mm. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to use that later. Okay. Maybe in the future we'll get rid of. I don't know. Do we have, or we might need, we might still need to be able to print C strings. Draw. I think since we have the length already, is S length. I don't know if we want to change the external API. We might. Does that work? No, it's S. And no, it's the character. That might just work. Does this work? Are we drawing the wrong color? No, we are drawing white. Let's line count. How is that 0? Do we not? What is that? Z? Oh, the first one's gonna break. Hold on. Oh shoot! There's no new line. It's one long JSON file. So let's do that. Okay, so this is wrong here. Let's just do. I don't know if UF is actually what this is, but it's fine for our testing purposes. So we're getting a 1, and then we're printing it. All right, this is. I hate to do this, but this is not a good example because there's no new lines. We want to test this new line behavior. What if we just go delete 2? What if we go source main.c? Are we not? Why are we not hitting any new lines? Right, main bunch of new lines. Sterling. Oh, holy cow! Not Sterling. That's wow. I'm sorry, everybody. I always say I'm tired, and that's my excuse, but that's on me. That's null terminated. I was in my mind. I was just thinking, oh wow, how easy! I'll just get to do Sterling because it's going to hit a new line, not null termination. Idiot. All right. Sorry, I had a phone call again. That was dumb. So let's think of this again. So we have a text pointer. So this is a line. Maybe this is where it does make sense to do text pointer, eh, where we have something in there and it's not. While that. So we're gonna look, keep moving, and we're gonna say, let's make it start at 0. Sterling plus plus. We're gonna move that forward. Oh, no, we need to move the pointer forward too, right? All right. We're always gonna increase the length of the string. No, we're not. We are gonna move text always. I guess I'm worse than I thought at doing strings in C. All right, so if it's an we're gonna do that. We can improve this later. We could also do this. Let's just keep it explicit for now. Okay, so we're gonna move the text pointer ahead. We're gonna move through. Oh, so if it does equal, then we need to. Am I doing this down here already? Now we're iterating. So each line, we're going to set it to the text pointer. That doesn't feel right either. Just bear with me. Because we need to store the original pointer. I was going to set it before we start moving the text pointer. All right, for each line. No, what are we doing? This is right. We're going to keep moving this. Shit, this is wrong too. All right, so while we have something, we're not going to start on a new line. So imagine we have a good character. So if it's new line, do something, but otherwise, move the raw text and the length of the string. So now the length of the string is 1. We come back. It is a new line. This can come out. So it is a new line. So we add a line count, do text pointer. That's there. That we do it a new one to wherever the text pointer is. That's the original starting point. And then we want to increment both of these. We don't increment Sterling. I'm actually just set it back to 0. We don't have to, because this will. Maybe this goes. All right, so that works. Kind of. It's an alignment issue. We'll come back to that. So it works, but when we print, X or Y, so, oh, let's do times. We're always going to start at 10x. We're going to start at the beginning of the line and draw the whole string. But this we're going to times by the line. And we're redrawing the same line over and over. Do we keep adding the same line in there? Oh, we're continuing. Wow, we need to break out of this and start over. That I don't know about. I don't know. Where is this all drawing to? Like, I think it actually is drawing as much as it needs, but then when it hits the edge of this, or out here, the edge of this, it just stops drawing right there. And it keeps updating. But when it's doing per frame, it's not drawing the off screen stuff. So we're not taking into like the width of this for forcing new lines kind of stuff, but it's kind of cool. That was harder than I thought. How much time have we done? An hour and a half already? All right. Well, I'm kind of somewhat concerned that the audio on this one was messed up. The whole first 75%. So maybe we'll stop it. Just do, I don't know what we call this, like text widget or something. It's not even a widget yet. It's just in the app. Oh, this is interesting. Invalid pointer. We're trying to free something that doesn't seem to exist. Invalid pointer. So it's saying it's not one of our allocations, but is it related to the alignment? Mm-hmm. Aren't we using this max and line? So it totally is fine until we free. This should have 8-bit alignment. 118. I mean, that way. Why does that matter, actually? Or like, why would this start to blow up in the... It seems like our allocations are somewhat off. I think it feels like kind of like a red herring. Am I doing any weird allocations here? Oh, wait a minute. Are we freeing something? We should free the raw text. I mean, we're allocating right there. The raw text. While we're here, let's undo this. Hmm. Yeah, since we're so long, I might just go offline and figure that out. Because I guess we could. Let's do our deal. Um, where do we want to? How do we? How do we get to that? If I want, is it static? Can I even get to that? If I do breakpoint on func close, that's what it was, right? Two locations. All right. So I'm going to run this and immediately quit. Come on. Oh, okay. So it's before I hit escape. This is what we want. So next, we got the allocator, but what's the... I think this is okay because see how these are XFF? That's 255, 255, and that's the alpha. So they're always 255 here. These are just showing the string values. There's a way to print that. What kind of... It's being printed as a character instead of a like a digit or integer. So I think that's okay. And this is the wrong app. We're going to continue. That's an issue. Let's just make sure our files and stuff are up to date so we don't go off course. All right, let's try again. We rebuilt the app. We're going to break on func close, run quit. All right, so this is, I'm seeing if it showed the file name for the dummy, but this is dummy. We don't care about that. And that's why I put that comment there. We don't see the comment. So this is the wrong one. So I'm going to continue and it'll hit the next one. See log view. There we go. So variables, we have state, but it's invalid currently. Continue. Nope. Next. And now let's look at it. It was 8010. Now it's that. So we can do print state. Print state. Is that wrong? Oh, it did kind of printed every line. That's actually freaking sweet. I did want to see that. And it's not just doing the pointer, it's giving us a string. That's, I don't know why. There's some setting, but 32 and 31 for the first two strings. Let's just look at one thing to make sure if they're actually close. Yep, that looks like exactly right. 31, 30 plus one each for the new line character. Cool. So those are right. But our raw text doesn't look right. Oh. We're moving it for. I get it. We're moving the raw text pointer forward. So when we free it, it's not freeing what we want to free. I'm glad we have that memory magic Alec there. Cool. But raw text. All right. So the thing is, that's a no. Should that be a pointer? I think this makes sense. And then I don't love that. So making a copy so we can leave raw text alone and free it later. And we need to move the current position forward, but we also need, before we start moving it forward, we need stir pointer at the beginning so we can set it. Now we could do this. Not increment it. Not change delay. this current position can move forward. Because we've already set it. But if we're here, that means that it's a new thing. So state line count length equals curve position. No. Oh yeah. Wow. That's the pointer position, not the length. We need to have a length thing, but let's just get to a solid state again where I think this will work, and we'll have the extra current position and the current the string's current position, and make sure our freeze work again before we jump ahead. Yeah, I might clean this up later. And since it's been so long, I think I'm gonna just end it here when we text. I got a little ambitious on what we're gonna accomplish today. It's been an hour 40. That should have been a lot easier. We literally read some strings. That would have been in any other language a 4-minute job. I'm gonna clean this up. I'm probably gonna extract some of that based on M time when the file's read, and then we'll do the scroll bar next video, maybe later today. All right, thanks. I'm gonna leave it there. Peace.